What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today we're going to talk about it's not a secret to people who were actually involved in a certain lifestyle in prison, but to a lot of people who were in prison who weren't involved in stuff, it may be new to them. I doubt it. It shouldn't be. And to those of you that never lived that life, this may just be, something to trip out on. So, I was thinking about how there are a lot of rules, a lot of regulations, stuff that we have to live by in prison, right? They have zero to do with what the administration or the prison or the facility you're on have to do with. When you're living that lifestyle, you give a damn about that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You have rules. Every convict has two sets of rules that they're supposed to be living under, right? One set of rules will get their privileges took, whether it be visit or whatever, phones, whatever, or maybe you get put in ADSEG, that type of stuff happens if you break those rules. And then there's another set of rules that if you break them, you will get stabbed and possibly have your life taken. What set of rules do you think, if you were in prison, you would adhere to and pay more attention to? The rules of the people that you're running with, right? Now, I'm going to talk about something, and so this is just one example, right? So we're in New Folsom in the oil, and someone was fighting a case and was able to bring down one of the legends, right? And so he came down to ADSEG with us, and he left his 5 reglas, his 5 rules that the Mesa and the Oyo were to enforce, and all the Southerners had to adhere to, right? And I'm not going to get into all 5 of them, okay, for various reasons, but I will talk about 3 of them. And so one of them was any of the Southerners, anybody on the Mesa, any of the Southerners, anyone speaking on the legends and their business, whack them, right? And then we had anyone causing dissension between the Southerners and the Paisas, anyone caught trying to create conflict amongst the Southerners and the Paisas, whack them. And then there was another one, and this is the one we're gonna focus more on today. There was another one, and it was anyone caught up in gossip, caught gossiping and stirring the pot through gossip, whack them, right? And I can already hear it. There's gonna be people in the comment sections. Oh, that's all you do. That's all Gunner does. It's funny how I do a video and they bring Gunner in. And then Gunner does a video, they bring me in, right? And they'll say, that's all you guys do. You guys gossip. For the most part, I talk about my own experiences. How am I gossiping? About who? About myself? That's weird. I don't know how that works. But anyways, yeah, if you were creating gossip, if you were a part of gossip, you were going to be made an example of, right? And within that in itself, there's something, and this video is motivated by the audacity of some of the comments and some people's actual statements that are on YouTube, right? And here's a thing that was very tricky in there. You could have an individual and he's on the yard with the fellas and, everybody's, programming, whatever. But this dude And I'm going to just make up a name, right? So we have something to think about. And we're going to name him Spider, right? So Spider's a camarada. You know, he's actually involved in stuff, which if you're a camarada, that's what it means. You know, people throw that word around, and, you know, in there behind the walls, you use that word for regarding certain people and be like, that's your camarada right there? Like, you're saying something using certain terminology, right? But Spider's a camarada, right? And he's on the yard. He's functioning. He's got his hands in things. And he's unfortunately involved in a power struggle with someone. Or him and someone are politicking on each other. And Spider loses. Okay? And it doesn't matter how Spider gets off the yard, whether he rolls it up or he gets whacked. But he loses his power struggle, right? And then you have this other guy on the yard, and we're going to call him Rock. Rock didn't like Spider, right? But you never would have known that. But as soon as Spider took his fall, there goes Rock. That Vato was a pussy, Holmes. I knew it. I seen the bitch in him, this and this and that. That Vato this, that Vato that. But see, Rock just played himself because of this. Spider lost a political struggle. But there are still people that have a lot of love for Spider, including legends. And while they don't agree with Spider leaving, if he locked it up, however he left the yard, who the fuck are you, Rock, to talk about him when you didn't have the balls to say it to him when he was there? And next thing you know, Rock is getting whacked on the yard. But you know what? He will never be told it was because of what he said about Spider, but guarantee it was. So when I hear people talk about people, and I see people in the comments talking about, oh, whatever you did, it don't matter no more, and you ain't shit, and you're this, and you're that, and it's like, you obviously haven't been around. I'm a nobody. I'm a square. I give a damn what people have to say about me, but people have some very bad habits that they exhibit. And more than bad habits, it's zero schooling, zero sklecha. Because if you knew, you would say, it happens. Anybody who has been on a level 4 yard, I can't say, like, I don't know about the level 3, but anybody that's been on a level 4 yard and somewhere that's serious, you have seen stuff where you're like, the fuck? Vato didn't even do nothing. But he's no longer there, and it's not your business. Stay out of it, because you could be next, right? And these guys talk all this masa, and I'm like, listen, rather than talking masa, how about you not pay attention to the person? Because that's what I do. You know, and this is just another glimpse into the realities of prison. You know, the guys that have never been around anything serious, they're the ones that are going to try to pick apart what I have to say. It'll never be anybody that really was involved in that life. The ones that were really involved in that life will say, that Vato ain't lying. But the ones who were never, ever a part of anything, it's the same ones that trip out on this. They say, I always laugh about this. They say, Dubs tries to portray himself as if he's this or that, and he's super this, and Mr. Activo that, and I'm like, so I conduct myself with a level of professionalism that I learned a long time ago, and that professionalism has never changed. Those individuals who never had to act in a professional manner because they peed on themselves right away, they are very envious of people who still conduct themselves in a professional manner. I don't claim to be nothing other than a father, a productive member of society, a working man, a businessman. That's all I care about. As long as I'm good with my family, my loved ones, and my friends, as long as I know that what I do on YouTube, I have good intentions, I'm all right. What anybody says or thinks about me has nothing to do with me. That's their baggage. They can carry it. I try to give you guys true glimpses into prison, into the belly of the beast, the ugliness of it. Because I don't want people thinking, hey, Holmes, you go in there and there's a lot of camaraderie and this and that. Listen, there's some good dudes in there. Some dudes with good hearts. But self-preservation is number one. If it comes down to you or him, who you think he chooses? If it comes down to you having to get moved on, who you think's going to move on you? A lot of times it's going to be the guy that's the closest to you. The guy you don't really, you're always paying attention to who comes around you, no matter who they are. But when it's somebody you never fuck with, your eyes are on their hands, their waistband, their eyes immediately. When it's your camarada that you've shown pictures of your loved ones with, something you don't do with everybody, somebody that every time you get a package, you make sure he gets broke off, someone who does the same with you. When he comes around, like, that's a homie right there. Hey, what's up, homie? You go to shake his hand, and there you go. It happens. It's the ugliness of prison. I tell you guys all the time, 99% of the dudes in there, 99% of them in there, from the hardest ones you can think of all the way down, if they had a second chance at life, if they had a do-over, they would do it over in a heartbeat. They push the lines they push because that's the world they're in. But they would love to be out here dropping their kids off at school, working a 9-to-5, becoming their own business owner, being an entrepreneur, just being active in their families' lives. They would love to do those things, but they can't right now. They may never be able to because of decisions that they made as kids and decisions that they continue to make when they entered the California Department of Corrections. They've settled in their mind and in their heart that they're going to die in there. They won't talk about, damn, homie, I wish I could go home. But you know what they will do? The real ones will. When they see a youngster come in and do his time and have an opportunity to go home, the real ones, they're going to tell you, hey, Holmes, when you get out there, why don't you stay your ass out there, Holmes? What the fuck you want to be in here for? I know because I've seen it. I know because I've said it. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.